for
This
January.
conference will now be recorded.
Mary Jo, if we can start with the roll call.
Yes, Amin,
Here.
Brown,
Here.
Connor,
Here.
Hatfield,
Here.
Mo,
Here.
Rommelfinger,
Present.
Shu. I can see her, so she's here in John Velasquez. And I see him too, so we have everybody here.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Do we need to approve any absences?
No, everybody was present at the last meeting as well.
Okay, moving on to procedures. You will email everybody the election.
Say that one more time.
Item 2 on the agenda, the procedures. You will email everybody the election.
Yes, I'm trying to get that up and out to you guys right now.
Okay. And then item B, designation of the official place to post public notices.
Yes, so that's our yearly, this is our yearly business, kind of housekeeping business. Every year we're required by our bylaws, and I just realized, oh, there's Ron, okay, that we're required to set the location of where I post the meetings for the board. Typically, that is always on the board that's downstairs at City Hall in the main lobby. But I added in this year that, which we're going to have to rely on since City Hall is still closed, that we also post the packet to the city's webpage as part of the meeting notification for your regular meetings. So I would just need a motion, a second, and a vote to approve that posting, the locations for posting the board's agendas. Sorry.
I'll make a motion to approve the new locations for the meeting minute, or for the meetings.
Anybody second?
I will second it.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Anybody opposed? Motion carried.
Okay, great.
And then has everybody had a chance to review the minutes for the December meeting? And if we're okay with it, if I can get a motion to approve those minutes, please.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I second that motion.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mary Jo, we can record those minutes as they were.
Okay, perfect.
Now we'll open the public hearing for a license, hotel and restaurant liquor license for Hook and Reel Cajun Seafood Bar. Do we have representatives from the Hook and Reel?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to know, Andrew, are you the attorney for or are you a witness or?
No, I'm the owner of the Hook and Reel Cajun Seafood Bar.
Okay. And then Andrew, what is your role?
I'm the general manager.
Okay, all right, that'll be fine.
Okay, so as this
If I
public
can,
hearing is,
have you read the application for the record of marriage?
okay, this public hearing is scheduled for the board to consider a hotel restaurant liquor license application from Cajun Restaurant Westminster LLC, doing business as Hook and Reel Cajun Seafood and Bar, that will be located at 9280 Sheridan Boulevard. The property is zoned planned unit development, and the sale of alcoholic beverages by the drink for on-premise consumption is an allowed use. Notice of this hearing was published in the Westminster Window on December 24th, and the property has been posted with signage to notify passersby of the date and time of this hearing for more than 10 days preceding this hearing. The designated neighborhood boundaries for petitioning purposes were on the north 96th Avenue extended, on the south 89th Way extended, on the west US 36, and on the east Utica Court extended. Surveying was conducted by Oedipus Inc., and the report of results together with the map showing where petitioning was conducted is attached as part of the board's packet. There currently are 6 other hotel restaurant licenses in the designated neighborhood: Outback Steakhouse, Qdoba Mexican Grill, Don Chancho's, the Old Spaghetti Factory, Joe's Crab Shack, and Saltgrass Steakhouse. A report from the Westminster Police Department regarding the results of his investigation on the application is attached, and Detective Gordner is present to comment on that. I submit this information for the record.
Mary Joy, I want to clarify just on the agenda packet, the title of this item says a relocation of the hotel and restaurant liquor. I want to clarify for the board, now that you're reading this in, this is an actual new application for license. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's an error on my part. I apologize.
Just wanted the board to be clear, this is a new application, not a relocation.
Thanks for clearing that up, Ron. I was confused.
Does the board have any questions about the report from Mary Joy? Okay, if we can have that read in and recorded. We'll move on to the police department report. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is true and complete?
Yes, sir, I do. Troy
Please,
Gordner,
Yes, go ahead.
Troy Gordner, Liquor Enforcement Officer on behalf of the city. We did receive the new application for the Hook and Reel Cajun Seafood and Bar. Background check has been completed, and I have since received the results from CBI and FBI. Nothing was found that would adversely reflect upon the character of the applicant. Documentation was provided for funding for the business and appears to be proper. The listed manager does appear to have some experience in the liquor industry. Based on that, the Westminster Police Department has no reason to deny application.
Thank you, Detective. Does the board have any questions for the detective? Okay, we will move on to the petitioning reports or the petitioning results. Has the board had a chance to review the petitioning results?
Yes.
Any questions or concerns with that? Okay. Then we'll move on to the applicant. Who is going to testify for the applicant?
Here, I am.
Okay,
Dave-
if you can.
David, before we go forward, do we make sure that the applicant has no questions or concerns and then enter the survey into the record?
Yes. Do you have, as the applicant, any concerns on the report from Oedipus Survey?
No, I don't.
Okay, if we can record that, Mary. Okay, now we're ready for you. We can swear you in first.
I'm sorry?
We're ready for you now. I can, if you will raise your right hand.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
If you will please state your name and mailing address for the record.
Yes. Hi. My name is Xiaoming Cao. So my business address is 9280 Sheridan Boulevard, Westminster, Colorado 80031.
Okay, and the testimony you're about to give will be true and complete?
Yes.
Thank you. Please tell the board a little bit about your business.
Yes. So the restaurant I'm going to open is a Hook and Reel Cajun Seafood. This is a franchise. There's another store in Denver, right? And the seafood that we're gonna do, the Cajun style. This is our menu. I hope I can send you guys later. So mostly we're gonna sell the seafoods like crabs, fishes, catfish, flounders, and then different crabs and clams, shrimps, lobsters, like this kind of. And then our main entrance are the seafood and the baskets. We do have those frying seafoods like this. And then we will serve some we will serve some liquors like cocktails and wines and beers, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay, question from the board members.
You have the same business. I'm looking at your application. So you had the same type of business in New York from 2009 to 2020, correct?
No, miss.
Okay, I'm looking at addresses. I apologize. And it's under Hook and Reel Cajun Seafood, so I apologize for that.
Well, so it's a part of the same company. The location that's being opened in Westminster is a part of the franchise. We're a franchise.
Hold on 1 second, Andrew. Before you speak, let me go ahead and swear you in.
Okay.
So, you can talk. If you will please state your name and the mailing address.
Yeah, my name is Andrew Sprouse, address 4721 West 34th Avenue, Denver 80212.
Okay, and do you swear that the testimony you're about to give will be true and complete?
Yes.
Thank you. Now you may continue.
Okay. My answer to your question is that the Hook and Reel company is nationwide, and Sean is a franchisee.
Very good. Thank you.
You're
Yeah, I did research the restaurant. I'm from the Southeast, so I know seafood. So I've already looked at your menu. Because this is the city I live in, I want to know if this is going to be good seafood. But yeah, very impressive. We don't have a lot of that around Colorado. But yeah, I was looking at the application, and I apologize. I was looking at another restaurant that was in New York. So that's where I was confused, but thank you.
Sure.
Go ahead, John.
Okay, I have a couple questions, and it really has to do with the building. Is the building under construction or being remodeled, or is it ready to be moved in now? And then also, what will your hours of operation be?
Yes. So our buildings right now we're still doing the construction. Oh, I believe we will finish in 3 weeks. Yes, and then our store hours will be from Sunday through Thursday is 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Who will be your liquor? Who will manage the liquor in the store?
So Andrew, he will be our general manager. He will be the leading the front. So he will do the liquors. He will take care of the liquors.
Okay. What's the major difference in a Colorado driver's license from an adult to a minor?
So the minor's driver's license is a vertical and an adult's is horizontal.
Okay, you passed the most difficult question.
Good news.
Andrew,
Yeah, go ahead, Parker.
Andrew, could you tell me a little bit about your background in the restaurant industry, what type of liquor experience you have, and have you ever had any violations?
Yeah, sure. So I've been in the restaurant industry, going on 20 years. I've done everything from dishwasher to server. I've never had any kind of violations. I was with Torchy's Tacos over the last 4 years. here in Westminster over on 88th and Wadsworth. And we have not had any violations there either.
What's the capacity going to be at the restaurant?
So our capacity right now is about 150 seats. So, but right now, due to COVID, we might only open like a half or maybe less. So it's just want to keep everyone safe.
This is a large establishment you guys are going to be running. Who else will manage this on days you are not there?
So we'll have a couple supervisors and then an assistant manager or two in addition to myself and Sean. We'll also have like a back of house management team as well, in addition to ourselves.
And then have you guys, do any of you have a tip certification?
I do, yes.
Okay, will you plan on doing that with the rest of your staff that handles liquor?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else with questions for the applicant?
I'm looking at the blueprint. I'm trying to understand, like looking at the location and the floor plan of this restaurant, what type of outdoor, will there be outdoor seating?
No, it won't be outdoor ceilings. So on the outside is only be the parking lot. We don't have the right to do it.
Okay. Are you going to do, is your goal to also do takeout so you're successful until the pandemic wears
Yes.
down? Okay.
Yes. So our goal is right now, we have a cooperation. I mean, we cooperate with the Grubhub, Seamless, and Uber Eats, and DoorDash. This kind of third-party delivery. Yeah.
Very good.
If this is a franchise, do you follow some type of guidelines with that franchise for all your liquor processes and how
Yes.
you
Yes.
manage?
So in our franchise, we have to follow our rules about the liquor handles. So everyone touches liquor, they must have this one. They must have they must have this one. So this is our rules. Okay.
Yeah, so anyone who is such as servers or bartenders or any other front of house manager who handles liquor has to go through some kind of, or meet our company training and standards for handling alcohol.
So at this restaurant, are you going to have like an online ordering system or online platform where you can order your food online?
Yes. This one, since we cooperate with the Grubhub, Seamless, and those kind of, you can order from them, but you can also order from our online ordering. We also have our hookandreel.com. You can also order from there.
All right, my question on top of that is going to be, right now during COVID, they've kind of lifted the restrictions on liquor enforcement where you can take alcohol to go. What's going to be your policy at alcohol to go, and how are you going to make sure that everybody's ID'd?
Well, I think that, with our to-go liquor, I think it's going to be pretty limited. And I think that when someone comes to pick up any kind of liquor order, the regular ID verification procedures will be in place. So the person who is handing the alcohol over to the recipient will verify the ID on site at the point of sale.
And will you be able to order alcohol from your online platform or just
No.
over the phone?
Just over the phone.
Okay.
Any other questions? Then we'll go ahead and close the public portion of the hearing, and now we'll open up the discussion strictly for the board members.
Okay.
Any comments from anybody on the board? I'll just say it's a refreshing change to the food we've had in the local area. So I think it's a great application and a good business plan.
I totally agree. I'm excited to have it in town and I hope they're successful. You know, and I think they came in with a pretty good plan and kind of didn't stumble through anything.
I've only been on the board for 6 or 7 months now, and I've never seen someone bring a menu even. And so I think that they are incredibly prepared. He even has a copy of his corporation's franchises training document you receive as an employee. And so I just want to say I think you're very, very well organized today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, then let's have a motion for this application.
I make a motion to approve the liquor license for Hook and Reel Seafood Cajun Restaurant Bar based on the state and local requirements.
This is John. I second the motion. Rumble.
We have a second. If we can have a vote, please. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed?
Actually, David, can I do a roll call vote for this, please?
Okay, yes, sure.
Amin,
Yep.
Brown,
Yes.
Hatfield,
Yes.
Mo,
Yes.
Rumblefinger,
Yes.
Shu,
Yes.
Velasquez.
Yes.
Great.
All right, we have the motion and we have a second. If we can have a vote, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We just did that one just through a roll call instead
Okay.
of the ayes.
I thought maybe the roll call was to just make sure everybody was still here.
That's just so that since we're recording this and because it's virtual, everyone saying aye at the same time is not really easy to collect. So for votes on GoToMeeting, we'll do roll calls just to make sure that we have everyone's votes recorded.
Yes, yes. All right, motion carries and congratulations to Hook and Reel. We'll look forward to coming out and having some dining and wine there.
Yes,
All right.
please.
you
Yeah,
so much.
look forward to having you.
Thank you. I'll let you know as soon as I hear back from the state. And
Okay.
I'll let you know and we'll make arrangements to get you the license when I receive it and the required signs that need to be posted.
Okay.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Mary.
Bye.
Okay.
We'll move on to item 4, upcoming meetings or miscellaneous business and reports. Anything to report?
Actually, there was one more item under 2 that we should take care of. It's actually time to do an election of officers.
Yes.
And since I can't do a secret ballot, since you guys aren't all here next to me, I thought we could go through, I can, let you know the folks that are eligible to be officers if they're interested. You could let us know if you are interested. And then based on that, I thought you could either text me or email me your vote, and then I could let you know what the results of that is. Does that sound like a way to handle this?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So the eligible members, to be eligible to be either the chair or the vice chair, you have to have been a member on the board for 1 year. So those of you that qualify are David Amin, Parker Brown, Charlene Moe, John Rommelfinger, and John Velasquez. So if all of you would just want to just verbally say if you're interested in being considered for chairman, we can do that, and then we can do it again for the vice chair.
Mary Joy, I'm interested.
Okay,
I can continue.
okay.
This is John. I'm not interested in, between David and Parker and, I gotta find your name here.
Darlene?
Oh, yeah, all three would be great. So anyway.
This is Charlene. I'm not interested in either.
And this is John Velasquez. I am not interested.
Okay. So, do we want to first vote on the two between David and Parker for chairman? And then whoever doesn't wear the chairman, we would just put in as vice chair? Does that sound agreeable to everybody?
Yes.
Okay.
Does Parker or David, do you want to put a stump speech in as to why you should be chair?
Well, since I carried the board through COVID.
I want education, your work experience. Have you been working since age 15? Your resume.
And here's
Tracy, you know my work experience.
that, I am not running for any political office from this board.
There will be no riots, no matter who wins.
So if you guys want to email me who your vote is for, you can either email me or text me. My number is 303-868-1356, or you can email me.
Sounds good.
Are you both on LinkedIn?
From August through December, I take a break on all social media. Everything. Mary Jo, anything else that we need to report?
We can move on. Detective Gordonnaire, I should mention, birthday boy Detective Gordonnaire. Today's his birthday, and he's here with us.
Happy birthday.
Wants to talk to you all. Woohoo! Wants to talk to you all about the memo I emailed out a little bit earlier about a renewal hearing.
Let's see. Are we ready, Troy, to hear from you?
Thanks, board. So I come to you with kind of a rare request. As everybody knows, yearly a liquor license comes up for a renewal, and those are typically handled administratively between myself and the city clerk. Every once in a great while, we might, during the background that I do, which occurs yearly with the applicant, I review things for the previous year. So I come to you tonight with a request for a renewal hearing for the Sports Watch Bar and Grill. That's located at 6801 Lowell Boulevard. I did a review of their calls for service, and also based on some concerns that have been raised by some citizens that would definitely be interested parties in that area. And so I come to you requesting that instead of this license just being administratively approved, I would ask that you all grant a renewal hearing for this license.
Troy, will we be able to hear the concerns of the citizens, or will any of them be available to speak on their behalf during the hearing?
So the way I understand this, and Ron and Mary Joy, please jump in, but so this is, if you do grant the renewal hearing, then at that time is when testimony and the details will be discussed. So similar to if I was actually coming to you for a show cause hearing, instead this is a renewal hearing. So a little bit different, but similar.
Ron, correct me if I'm wrong, this board will only look at certain items. We certainly are not the platform if it's too late for somebody at night or things like that. Because that's a zoning thing more than the board thing. So I just, if you can clarify the board on exactly what we're looking for in this renewal.
Well,
I
so
would like to in there and also ask for what does Ron think legally in relation to fairness to all kinds of businesses that would be renewing?
So if you were to agree to a renewal hearing, this would all be public record. So we don't want to get into the facts of what the issues would be at this point. Other than that, there are certain issues that have raised concern that this board that would like to see. Now, Mary Joy is part of the city clerk's office, and under our municipal code 514.6, the city clerk's office has the ability to administratively renew licenses. And we've talked about this before with some of you about wanting to review these. The city clerk is the one that has the sole discretion in pursuant to our code to determine whether or not grounds exist for a possible non-renewal or some other kind of action by the board. So right now it sounds like Detective Troy Gordonier has some issues, and I think that if we want to comply with our code, technically Mary Joy, being part of city clerk's office, is the one that has to make the official request. But here's how this works. This board has the ability to not renew a license. This board also has the ability to impose restrictions or requirements for a licensee holder on a new application or any renewals as well. If the board decides not to renew, there would need to be a formal hearing such as the show cause to issue as to why they would be revoking this license. So this this renewal application hearing would be mainly to hear whether or not the board finds that they should have a show cause to revoke a license or to not renew it ultimately, or in the alternative, if the board wants to impose more restrictions on this, or maybe like a probationary status till the next renewal period, or the board says, we don't really care about this. We appreciate you bringing it to our attention, but we think they're doing okay, and we're just going to renew it. So that's what a hearing for a renewal would be, saying, there's some stuff that has flagged us that we don't want to just rubber stamp and say nothing's changed. We want the board to have some input into it.
So
John?
this is John. I would say since Mary Joy and Troy both brought it to our attention, we should grant the renewal hearing.
I totally agree with you.
And
What kind of time frame would we be looking at?
I would suggest that, because I do have to post the property for the hearing, and I believe it also requires me to do a public notice in our newspaper. So I would suggest at the earliest, the first hearing in February, which would be February 3rd, I believe.
Have we had,
we did yeah, go ahead.
Did this business come before the board before with a show cause?
No, not this particular owner. This has been a long, it's an establishment that's been open for quite a while. And the current owner purchased it, and it was transferred approximately 3 years ago. Let me get that specific time for you right now. So she's been in operation for about 3 years, but this establishment has been in operation for, I would venture to say 20 plus years, if not longer, because I was there when I was young enough.
But they haven't, well, I know we had someone appear before us in that area, so it wasn't that business.
That was Outpost. So it's close by, but it wasn't the same place.
Okay, all right. Thank you for clarifying that.
This is John Velasquez. I'm curious as to what's considered a calls for service. Is that just a call to the police department, but no citations were given?
I believe that would come out at the hearing as part of the testimony.
I think, Troy, if you want to give a general description, not necessarily specific to this one, but what can be included as a call for service, I think you can do that, but just not specific to this one. What does it encompass in general?
So in general, a call for service to the business could be a 911 call to the police department, could be a call to the non-emergency line to report some sort of concern, whether it's criminal activity or something unusual going on that the police or fire department could respond to. That'd be a call for service.
Thank you.
And John, to clarify, this request for a hearing for the renewal doesn't mean that you have to do anything about it. You can simply state that all these calls for service were legitimate and someone else called and it wasn't a problem. We're going to approve the renewal. So just by accepting or allowing this doesn't mean that you're adversely affecting the licensee.
I think this will be the first hearing we do, so we're gonna have to, learn the procedure a little quickly. And I don't think that it's gonna be easy to come up with questions, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
This would be less formal than what our show cause hearings are. It will be mainly just Troy presenting what the issues have been, what the calls for service were, the board being able to ask questions about that, the applicant being able to maybe ask questions if the board permits that, and then determining whether or not there is going to be a renewal or a renewal with certain restrictions on it. And if this board decides that they're not going to renew, that would be a denial of a license, in which case we would set up an actual show cause hearing and they would have more, we'd go through our more formal procedures to do that.
And she transferred, she purchased this license back in September of 2017.
And Ron, I'm just thinking out loud. If we go to show and cause, then are they able to do that section 92 or whatever appeal to the state?
Yes, a 106 appeal can happen for any determinating motion that you make. So if you decided to issue restrictions and renew it, they could appeal that as well. So really any action that we take on motion that affects a party can be appealed by a 106 motion.
Okay.
And just to keep in mind that the 106 motions have a high burden. It's saying that you acted outside of the rules that are allowed under our code. Essentially, arbitrary and capricious are the terms that they use in a legal sense, but essentially says you did something you're not granted the authority to do. And so that's what I'm here is to advise you as to what your authority is in these situations. So if we do go to a show cause, we'll go over all of that as well to make sure you're completely aware of what your bounds and limits are on what you can and cannot do.
Troy, I just got one question. So when you're looking at the service calls, are you just counting every single call that's been made? Or are we looking at, the types of calls that are being made? Such as I had a stroke in the restaurant or the bar.
So the way that I do this is I look at both. I'll pull the complete history, and then as part of the review process, I go through each call to determine exactly what the details are of the call and whether or not it actually is part of the business or not.
Okay, thank you.
Mary Jo, do we need to do like a motion to make this happen, or is this an administrative item?
I guess I would say let's go ahead and do a motion and vote, right, Ron?
Well, as the chair and this thing too, you can actually approve it as the chair without an actual vote for this because it's not an official action that's being done by the board, but rather the board accepting something to be reviewed.
Do any of the board members have any thing to oppose this?
No, sir.
All right, thank you. Mary Jo, we will go ahead and call the party for a hearing.
Okay. So the other thing I just wanted to say is, well, my first part of this other thing is we do have a new alternate member, Sean, who's on the call with us tonight, the meeting tonight. And we are planning on doing a new member training at the next hearing, January 20th, since we don't have any items to actually have an official meeting. So we'll work on that, and I'll get it on the calendar. And any of the board, the existing board that's been through the training before, you're always welcome to attend the hearing again. And if need be, if you guys want more information, and maybe this is a little bit early, but Ron could probably at the end of that weigh in a little bit about this this renewal hearing, answer more questions and that type of thing. So
It looks like we lost Sean.
did we? I didn't know who caller 3 was.
That's John Velasquez.
Is it? Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I got knocked out of the meeting and I've been trying to get back in, so I just called in on the phone.
Okay.
Let's just show the face, man. Can't be incognito all the time, okay?
So something to discuss if we're already going to be doing this is, do we want to have everyone attend and then also cover the 106 action and answer questions on the 106 as well?
I was just going to ask that.
I think that's a good idea. I think we should all attend and hear everything that needs to be said on that.
I totally agree. And refresher training is always good too.
Is the training, is it a PowerPoint that plays on the GoToMeeting, or how are we gonna do this?
We can get it. Usually we have a PowerPoint that we do in the board meeting room, so we can do that and have that set up to where we can view that as well. It'll be me kind of going over the slides and answering questions as we go and covering what the board does and stuff for Sean's purpose. And then when we get to the 106, we can pull up the 106 order. I don't know if you've all had a chance to review it or not, but we can go through the generalities of it and then answer questions and be able to pull up specific sections and look at them.
Okay.
And then I just had one other thing I wanted to approach the board about. Ron had mentioned it at the last meeting that the city is very busily working on an entertainment district ordinance. And with that adoption of the ordinance tentatively scheduled for March sometime, the board really needs to begin meeting, doing training on the ordinance itself, and discuss what type of reporting we feel that is necessary for this, for anybody that applies for an entertainment district designation, and that would include, then they could have a common consumption area. And so speaking with the city clerk this morning, I don't at this point have any new licenses in the pipeline, have not heard from anybody. So the thought being that we could maybe designate for the next couple months, say the second or the fourth Wednesday of the month, that we could have that set as a study session where we could discuss the entertainment district and how we're going to start working on those forms and the content that we need on those forms. So I wanted to get your feedback on that idea, if just keeping it to a Wednesday would work. John?
I was just going to ask, is it possible that we could get some lessons learned from other entertainment districts that are close to us, just to have that presented to the board so we could get a feel for what they've run into?
Sure, we could definitely check into something like that.
What a great idea.
And to give the board just a real quick general ideas, an entertainment district is the first step. It's what the city council sets to say, here is the specific area that you can create a common consumption area. It doesn't actually create an area where people can congregate and consume. It just sets the overall limits, like setting the boundaries. Then once that's set, then a promotional association, which will include at least 2 licensees within that boundary, can come and request a common consumption area. And that's where this board comes in, as it's going to be like a new liquor license where you're going to review everything that they have to say how they're going to be safe, how they're going to keep this away from minors, how they're going to keep eyes on everyone, just like we kind of do in a special event permit sense. And this board can set restrictions on those, including hours, locations of where that area can be, what roads can and can't be blocked off, ingress, egress, security plans. This board has a lot more input, is really the final say to make sure that this is something that will operate efficiently. And I think the way what we talked about is that in these first couple of years, we're going to make the renewals mandatory to come before the board to go over how things went, what was any kind of problems with the police department, any kind of issues with the roads being blocked and whatnot. So this board is going to be more involved with this. However, there's only going to be potentially, to start off, 1 or 2 entertainment districts. So it's not going to be heavily saturated. It'd probably be 1 or 2 common consumption areas, but that's where this board is going to be really integral in keeping the city and these events positive for everyone, because downtown Westminster has a lot of residents that are going to be there as well, who are going to also have to partake or deal with this particular open area outside that might be right outside of their apartments. So that's kind of an idea of why we really want to talk through all of these things to see what the board is going to be looking for and everything.
Much easier to partake than to deal with, I'll tell you that. Okay, sounds good. Anything else we need to discuss?
Nope, that is it. I don't think I've heard back from everybody on the vote. So if you guys just want to make sure that wait, there's a couple more. If you guys just want to, if you haven't yet sent me your vote, do that. And then when I have all that information put together, I can send out an email and announce it if that's okay. So we don't have to keep you hanging on.
Yeah, if you can just send an email with whatever comes up, that'll be fine.
Okay, great.
Mary Joy, does it seem like what we have now, we'll have a majority for one or the other?
Yes.
Okay, I just don't want to go to the point where we end up getting them all adjourned and then it ends up being a tie. And then we
Yeah,
have to do
no,
this all-
I think we're leaning towards a majority, so I think we're good.
Okay.
No, there won't be any riots or anything.
Then I don't want riots or storming City Hall.
We
David,
don't
I'll
want
be
to
at
read
your,
tonight's news.
David, I'll be at your house tonight, bud. Oh crap, was that recorded?
Yeah.
We just need a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I think I see it in the agenda that I can adjourn the meeting. So I'll go ahead and adjourn the meeting and wish everybody a happy evening, and we'll speak to you guys real soon.
Thanks,
Thank
David.
you,
Councilor,
everyone.
Thank you. Have anything you want to input from City Council?
No, I wanted to very much thank everyone for their service this last year and look forward to a better 2021 and greatly appreciate all that you do for our city. So thank you very much. I look forward to this entertainment district discussion because it's going to be a lively one, I believe. So thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rich.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
All right, goodbye.
Good night.
Right.